Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. Welcome to this week's edition of the Racing Insiders podcast with Kate Dillon from CrateInsider. That's me. I usually don't talk about myself in the third person, but for anybody who's listening and not watching.
It's kind of weird.
I know, that was so super weird. Would you like to say your full name?
I would not.
No, okay. So this is with Steve Hendren with Hendren Racing Engines. And if you're new to the show, nearly every week, we jump on here on Sunday afternoons, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and we answer any of your tech questions.
Or 4:30 in the wintertime.
Yeah,
we're coming up on, we're going to get to about 4:30.
Yeah, we will.
We like to do it out here, outside.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a little bit of warmth involved in
I know,
sitting outside and doing this.
Yeah. There's that. So if you're here with us live, feel free to drop any comments or questions, and we are happy to answer those. So Steve,
Yep.
So tell me, how was your week?
It was pretty hectic.
Okay.
But kind of slow, but kind of busy. I know that sounds weird, but
yeah, that
kind of
totally
how it
sounds
turned
weird.
out.
Yeah.
Still waiting on 604s.
Yeah.
I think we've made a little bit of progress as far as like some of the failures on some of these newer engines. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Speaking of 604s, there was a big race this weekend, and tell us about the results of that. What was the big race?
Oh, Jimmy Owens won at Alltech.
At Alltech.
That was
okay.
one of ours. And then Kyle Bronson finished third, and Sean Smith finished fifth.
Wow. So three of the top five.
Three of the top five are ours.
Well, congratulations on that.
We'll take that every day of the week.
Absolutely. And I know there's some of my customers in there, and congratulations to all of those who compete and did well in there. For sure. So I got a few comments here. I see Tom's here. He says, hello, Kate and Steve. And
he'll be here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, he's going to be here tomorrow. Right. Getting his...
tomorrow evening, late.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Or, I mean, not late, but like probably, I don't know, by the time he lands in Charlotte, gets his rental car, and gets all his shit, he'll probably be here about 8 o'clock or so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And Kevin's here from South Georgia. That's cool.
Yeah.
Scott's here from California. He says where Mark Garner got a ride in a crate late and finished fourth.
Nice. Good, Mark.
That's good. Good on Mark.
So me and Mark like hooked up and talked for a while, a couple weeks ago when I was there. Mm-hmm. And there's potential to where maybe I can like come back and race a race or so in, I guess, super stock or whatever it's called out there now.
That'd be nice.
That'd be kind of fun.
You'd be like one of those helmet bag racers where you bring your helmet and your fire suit and...
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd probably suck ass because I haven't been in a leaf spring car in years, so.
No, but those are some of your favorites.
Right.
You love leaf spring cars. For sure. Edward says, I hope you enjoyed Antioch Speedway. Congratulations.
I did, absolutely. It was amazing. I had a blast. It was really bizarre. I mean, because I had so many friends there, it was, who I consider family. I mean, my friends are family. So I had so much family there that I spent the night in the grandstands. Yeah. And I think I commented a couple weeks ago that, God, I don't think I've been in the grandstands in Antioch since like 1985. So it was really a little bizarre sitting on that side watching everything.
Yeah,
but I had a good time.
Yeah, you went to the pit area for a little while.
Yeah, me and Bobby Scott.
Mm-hmm. When we saw you, we waved at you. Yep. But then we had like a whole section of the grandstand.
Then we hung out drinking beer till about 12:30 or something like that. After the races were over. So.
I don't even know. I don't even know what time it was because I'm like, I have to drive the 2 hours back or whatever it is. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go. Hey everybody, it's great to see you.
Well, it's like 2 hours unless you're Bobby Scott's wife, because they got home in like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. It was like some
it was
ungodly speed she drove home.
Yeah.
They were before. We were still drinking beer and they're like, yep, we're home. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. So, yeah. But I made it. We made it, obviously. Yeah. So, it was fine.
It was good.
Yep. And Darren's here saying hey. And Jason and Chad from the famous Lost Island, Iowa. And Nicole says, I've never sat in the stands with you.
That would be true, actually.
Yeah.
So
that's your friend Nicole.
Nicole Flynn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's on here right now. So she had a barbecue for us before we went to the racetrack.
Yeah, so we could pregame.
So we pre-gamed and got primed to go to the track, so that was kind of fun. Well, kind of fun. It was a lot of fun. So got to hang out with her and her family and a bunch of friends, and then of course I got the whole surprise visit from
the Kerr family.
Yeah, like my second family.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool.
Well,
God, I still want to tear up over that. Damn it.
Yeah.
Fucking girls.
I got to see Steve cry. Yeah. And it wasn't even me. I didn't even make him cry.
Right.
That'll be my next goal in life. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's such a neat story with Nicole, though, because how you described her to me is that she
was my trophy girl.
First trophy girl.
She was
yeah,
that freaking tall when she was my trophy girl.
Yeah, and you drivers at Antioch, you would pick a random kid from the audience.
Well, I mean, she was legit trophy girl.
Oh,
and
okay.
then what I would normally do is give away my trophies because I mean I think I won a trophy dash or something that night, and I just give my trophies to the kids who were. Or the women or the girls or whoever were trophy girls.
Yeah.
And so that's just...
And then you created this
Super
lifetime friendship,
Yep.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, her family's amazing.
Fred's here from Ryland Racing, and we saw him at Antioch, too.
Yeah.
So we got the whole California contingent on the show today.
That's awesome.
Here, for sure. And Paul's here saying hey, and Brian's here. Brian Littleton from Race Logic. He goes, got my daughter married and expecting my first grandbaby. Congratulations.
Wow.
And I saw some of the wedding photos and looking sharp, and that was great. And the Race Logic classes, of course, are just going off the charts. We only have a few seats left in those for next year.
That should be pretty fun.
Oh, absolutely. That's going to really be fun. Joey says it's always entertaining and educational listening to us both. So that's
I don't know
fun.
so much about educational, maybe entertaining. And we'll find out. That has yet to be seen.
Absolutely. We got Dream Shop here. Dream Shop says first time I've been in the house at 4:30 on a Sunday. I always watch late. So yeah, we would try to be relevant, regardless if people are here live or not. And that's good. Oh, now here's a great comment from Darren. He says, I'm still benefiting from the Race Logic class. Got a top 10 and then a top 5 the week after. Only 3 races this year for me.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
so
pretty amazing.
out of 3 races.
We're only running 3 times?
3
That's pretty damn
times,
good.
taking the Race Logic information, putting it to work, and having a top 5 and a top 10.
Yep.
That's some good
What
progress.
class would that have been? Which one did you attend?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It'd be interesting to know, honestly, because I mean they're all beneficial, but it would really be interesting to.
I think Darren has a street stock, but I don't know if it's metric or if it's an IMCA stock car. But I know he's in California, but he's also does a cooking for fire crews.
Oh, wow.
So that's why he would go up to Alaska and do some cooking for fire crews. I've got a really cool T-shirt. I've got one of Darren's racing T-shirts. It's
that's cool.
Pretty neat deal there. So yeah, kind of love those.
That's really cool.
Kind of graphics there. So cool deal. So you said you had it was a hectic week, and
well, it was just a weird week. I mean, we got shit done, but still, I mean, I'm still dealing with this whole back order crap with 604s and I don't know. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh, and Darren races a hobby stock.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
I
cool.
thought it was a stock car of some kind. So yeah, hobby stock. I mean,
Nice.
there's some. I don't know if you've even seen that one.
Yeah, metric car.
Okay. And he says metric. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I just looked up over on the screen there. And you haven't been part of the stock car classes, although you're going to be at this one this coming year,
correct.
the metric street stock class.
Yep.
And I mean, I'll tell you, that's really where I really got my start, connecting with Race Logic. And there's just so much amazing information. It's fascinating how much the street stock cars, whatever you want to call them, that just the technology and how it keeps advancing.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been going to these for I guess 5 or 6 years now.
Well, everything keeps advancing, so.
Yeah, and it's coming through on those stock cars and metric street stocks.
Speaking of advancing, how about my man Max Verstappen winning today in Houston?
Did he?
Or Austin, wherever the hell they were at.
Really?
Yeah. So
I know
Formula
he's a
One,
guy.
Verstappen wins. Hell yes.
Okay, it
was a good day. I watched the whole race. So
okay,
here's
great.
to Max.
Yeah, here's to Max for sure. That's on my dream list. I think we need to be at the F1.
I think we need to get a
DLS.
bunch of people together and go there next year.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure they're going to have it again. I mean, they haven't been there since 19, but...
So because nothing happened in 20.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, they raced, but... Yeah, so
well,
I think it'd be badass to get a whole group of people together. Let's all go to the F1 race.
I think that would be amazing. I think that would be really amazing. We either get a block of rooms or a big house or something and have a whole racing party.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Unless you're the guy I don't like fan.
Oh, okay. Which one do you... Oh, you don't like Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't like Lewis Hamilton.
Well, he's a little bit full of himself.
Yeah.
I guess if I had like all the championships that he has, it's hard to... It would be hard to stay humble, I think. I don't know.
I just like Verstappen. I think the dude's like a real race car driver. So.
I think the guy's intense as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's like just so intense.
He's not politically correct. He's just a dude who races. So I
man,
like that.
He's a machine.
I could see him racing like a dirt car in the South, basically.
Dude's a machine.
Yeah,
Dude is absolutely a machine, and I like that German precision. He's like about as German gets, but
Dutch, but yeah.
Well, like the German Dutch. I don't know. It's all
the same.
It just depends on where the borders are this week, you know.
It's all the same.
And I say that as like the being of German ancestry.
Very
somewhere.
German.
Yeah. All right, we've got lots of comments here. Ryan says, I have Bobby Hogue tapes from the late 80s up to the mid 90s. Ryan,
dude, please send
Ryan,
those.
If you could, please send those to me because
and I remember Ryan also when he was about that tall.
Oh, so you know Ryan? Okay.
Oh, I absolutely do.
Cool.
I got a picture with him in my car.
What?
Back in the day, yeah, I got all
super
sorts of
cool.
shit.
Yeah, Ryan, if we could connect, because then I'd love to digitize those tapes, and I'm sure Janet and Bobby and Bobby, because there's two Bobbies. I'm sure everybody would love that.
Well, the third and the fourth.
Yeah.
We just call them Little Bobby and Big Bobby.
Big Bobby and
which
Little
is
Bobby.
like the opposite.
Yeah. Well, I know, because Little Bobby is big guy and
well, no, Little Bobby's all, he's like me. He's like,
yeah.
We drink a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Big Bobby, he's still this big.
I know. Well, it's good that their names are like Robert or Bobby, because in my family, of course, my dad's name is Dick. So even though Jimmy was named Jimmy, they would definitely get the nickname.
Was he called Little Dick?
Yep. I mean, based on his father's name for no other reason. So yeah.
That you know of.
Well. Oh yeah, no, I do not know. I know nothing. No, I really don't. All right, Joey says, honestly, here at Ken Schrader Racing, we are jealous we can't drink and play online like you guys.
Hey, man, I mean, damn, I wish you could.
Yeah.
Because, I've got I don't have stories. So my friend Bert Cheatham, who used to be, or is probably still good friends with Kenny, he's got some stories.
Oh, yeah.
There's some hella good stories. So, all that whole Missouri crowd, they're something else.
Yeah, and there's no reason why. I mean, I'm drinking my Crystal Light today. What are you drinking? You're being basic, right?
I'm just being ultra.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Sorry. Nothing cool today.
That's all good. It's all good. William Syracuse says, hey, y'all, Steve, your engine showed out this weekend at Altec, Jimmy Owens. Yep. No one had nothing for him. Of course, Bronson third. So, yeah, 3 of the top 5 were all Hendren engines there.
And I think, I don't know which engine Kyle had in, but it could have been the zipper motor.
Yeah. We'll talk about the zipper motor and tell that story.
Yeah, that engine's won, probably $160,000 in the last 6 years.
And every time it's in a big race and they have to tear it down.
It gets torn down all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to put zippers on this bitch because the bolts are wore out. I mean, that little motor is freaking awesome, but he might have had his newer one in. I don't know which one he had.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Chad says, what is the turnaround right now for a refresh blueprint on a 602?
If it showed up today, about 5 weeks.
Okay. I didn't know that, so I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad to know that. Paul says, when are y'all heading to Charlotte? I made reservations this week.
I assume Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
So Friday, go to Twin Peaks, hang out, go check into the room, go to the racetrack.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the thing?
Yeah, probably. Although I might just drop you and Tom off at Twin Peaks, and then I'm going to go to IKEA and go shopping.
Oh, well, you can do that.
Yeah.
I have no desire to go.
You don't want to go to? You want to be part of a maze?
No, I don't want to be part of a maze or meatballs, because I know you're going to go there for the meatballs.
I love the meatballs at IKEA. I do, but no, I have a bunch of furniture to buy, so
I got you.
Yeah, so I have things I have to do, right. And if I'm
that'll work. I mean, hell, we'll hang out. Me and Tom will hang out and frickin', I don't know, look at Twin Peaks girls and drink
cold beer.
Yeah.
Y'all can do that. So that's the plan. So Friday is the final answer, and we'll leave on Sunday. Is the plan.
Yeah, and then when we come back here Sunday, we've got like actually a gathering at our friend Donald Michelle's house.
Oh.
So we need to leave a little bit early on Sunday.
Okay. Well, we usually...
If you want to go.
Gotcha. Okay. And then be done there and then come back here for the show.
Or do it there.
Depends on internet.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, see, we haven't coordinated at all this week, so we're just coordinating
there
our
could
schedules
be or could not be a
right
show
here
next
online,
week.
on here on the show.
So there could be or could not be a show next week. If there's good enough internet, we'll have a show at their place.
All right, John is here. He says, do your metric street stocks run stock rear ends or 9-inch? Was reading a post, someone at a local track here in Ontario wanting 9-inch instead of 30-year-old scrapyard parts. So metric street stocks, are they running? Do you know what rear ends they're running? I know there's some that are running the 9-inch Fords.
I assume it's going to be 9-inch.
Yeah,
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, so there's definitely some that are running the 9-inch Fords, and I just don't know enough about the other scrap parts kind of a thing. Ryan says he's got between 15 and 20 tapes, so that's perfect, and that's great. So if anybody hasn't checked it out, if you've got any tapes, VCR tapes, or if they're already like on DVD or whatever, we have a whole nother YouTube channel called Racing Rewind, and you can even just type into your search bar, you can just type in racingrewind.com. It'll take you straight over to the YouTube channel. So 15 to 20 tapes, that would be great. But we would love to have tapes from the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. And, the whole idea is that we're really preserving the legacy of these videotapes because they're getting
VHS, I guess.
Right, they're only getting older and older, and these things just break down over time.
Yep.
So in order to take them from analog to digital, because there's literally a VCR sitting on my desk right now, hooked up to my computer, so that I can digitize these things.
And
for sure,
I would assume it has to be 9-inch because that's essentially the staple of the industry. So
yeah.
I mean, I can't say for sure, but I would assume so.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, I should know more just from being at the Race Logic chassis school. So if anybody else knows, feel free to drop that into the comments.
Yep.
And I just haven't dealt with those rear ends.
Yeah, I mean,
most of the rear ends I sell
do engines,
quick
not
change.
rear ends. So.
Well, and I sell rear ends, but I do a lot of the quick change stuff for the late models.
Well, it's not going to be that. So.
Well, right. I'm just giving you my experience there for sure. So yeah, great question though. Terry's here. He says, "Hey guys, nice to see you again. Nice to have you here for sure." Yeah. So this week, I've had a busy, hectic week as well because I'm trying to catch up from being gone for 2 full weeks.
Right.
And we got new shelving, and we're getting the warehouse really kind of dialed in a little bit more for retail. So anybody that's in the in this part of the country that wants to come by and buy your parts right there, you can.
So, like, there was a really important, important announcement. For the for the East Coast crate late model racing, is Rush is now going to go to E85 next year.
Oh.
So the Rush Racing Series will allow E85. Of course, it's going to be Sunoco branded E85 because that's one of their primary sponsors, which I've got no problem with that. And from what I was talking to Vicky about, it's going to be somewhere between $325 to $375 per drum, which is a really good savings for people. And you'll get to be able to be on E85, just like the rest of the Southeast.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will drive cars up their way and bring some of their guys down our way.
Well, yeah. Now, really, our primary fuel on the East Coast, east of the Mississippi, is going to for these crate late models is going to be E85.
And they've also legalized the green E15, which is an oxygenated race gas, similar to probably CHP or something like that.
Oh, that's interesting. And that's a fresh. I actually kind of knew about the other one, but I wasn't aware that it had been announced yet.
I'm going to say if you're racing up in that way, I would be definitely on E85. And if you have carburetors that need to be converted from gas to E85, it's not a problem to do. Most carburetor manufacturers, meaning us, meaning David Smith, meaning Willys, meaning Stealth, whoever, probably will do that for less than $500.
Yeah, and that way you don't have to buy a brand new carburetor.
Yeah. And you'll make that money back with the first 2 drums of fuel you buy.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, how much was the Sunoco 110?
I don't know off the top of my head. I know that the I think the green E15 will be 6 something probably.
Okay.
So I mean, you're talking. Let's say let's say that their E85 is 325. You know, I mean, you're talking. You can buy 2 drums of fuel for practically 1 drum of something else.
Yeah, Paul says, long as it's not nasty ass CHP, and he says 550. So I don't know the 550 if that was for a drum of sunoco 110.
That may be the 110. So yeah, I mean, you're saving a bunch of money. I mean, you're going to use roughly 30% more fuel, but you're still saving an assload of money.
Yeah.
By running E85. So.
And more power, run cooler, run cleaner.
Yeah, I mean, this whole having to run a freaking airplane prop for a fan blade to keep your shit cool. Yeah, you're going to do away with that because you're going to be able to go to 2-blade fans and stuff like that to run the E85.
Well, I love the fact that means the rush racers are going to be able to come down and participate in
That's
events.
The main thing to me.
Like,
and people from here go up there.
For sure. It's both ways. Yeah. But, like, we've got the Short Track World Championships coming up next weekend in Charlotte. Mm-hmm. And you've got people from all over the country, but, you know, mostly East Coast.
A lot of the guys up there would have to change fuel to come down here, which means fuel system change, fuel carburetor change, stuff like that, to come down here and be competitive.
Exactly.
So exactly. That will no longer be the case.
Well, at least that way you can just limit it to just whatever the tires are, the tire rules of that particular
And, of course,
series.
you got the bitches on Facebook already bitching about it, so there's that. But we won't get into that.
You know... You know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're all resistant to change in our own ways, unless we're, you know, trying to drive change. It's just, it's, you know, you get used to what you get used to. I remember when they all bitched about changing the fuel before. Like, no, we want to spend more money.
Well,
on
I mean,
fuel, you know?
Up in that area, like, you know, I mean, down here, I was actually against her fuel rule several years ago when she came up with it. And I made no qualms about it. I mean, I told her. Yeah, me and Mickey have a good relationship. I told her, I don't like your freaking fuel rule, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was against it, but then when I saw what it did for her area and the racing up there, I was actually kind of for it.
Yeah.
So I changed my mind. She changed my mind.
Well, because you got to see how it, I mean, she's really been an innovator of being able to push forward. I really do like the E85 ruling, though. I think that's really good. And,
I think it's
Paul, and Paul has confirmed that the Dremel 110 was the 550.
Yeah,
so we'll come down on price with the E85. Yep. But, you know, we've had this show now for, I mean, over a year at this point, and one of the most popular topics we talk about on here is fuel. And we've answered so many questions about E85.
Yeah. And the good part about it is, to me, too, like, so E85 is just E85. I mean, you got ethanol. So most of these major fuel companies, Sunoco included, they're going to be using premium grade ethanol.
Right.
So the difference is going to be what they use for gas to blend it with, as far as, like, you know, the power you produce. But from what I've seen, pretty much everybody's within 1 or 2 horsepower of each other.
Because you've tried
them all. And I would
expect,
I've tried them all, other than Sunoco.
Right.
And I will, obviously, because we have to tune. We'll be doing carburetor conversions for people up north that we build carburetors for. But I would expect to see the same thing. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be competitive everywhere.
Well, because you've seen such vast differences in oil, but when you've compared the fuel from different companies, you really haven't seen a huge difference.
On E85.
Correct, on E85.
On race gas, massive difference.
Massive difference, but on E85 specifically, you're like, hey, we've got VP, we've got Base, you've got Renegade, and they've all run about the same.
And they've all run about the same. Their race gases, no. Yeah. I mean, so if you're still stuck around working on race gas, but you're allowed oxygenated fuel, then CHP is still king. Yeah,
gotcha. And Paul says, it will give the guys a chance to run, to try different tracks and be even. And I would say, be competitive. Well, Perfect Circle Motorsports has a great point, which we've talked about. He says, I wish we could run methanol in Crate Racing USA in the South.
Dude,
we've talked about it. Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah, we can't. We haven't quite been able to push over the methanol conversion at East Coast.
If we could slowly get that back to where it could be, something for real, then methanol is the only way to go.
E85 is a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
It's not methanol. Quite gas. It's not quite methanol. It's kind of in between. So we're getting there.
We're getting there. Absolutely. All right. Donene is here saying, hello to you. What are your thoughts on the shock technology and cost?
It's a bit of a double-edged sword. I'm kind of for it. I think it's really cool, the shit you can do with shocks nowadays. But I think shock technology surpassed racing series' ability to control it, and it happened really quick. It wasn't like a 5-year deal. It was like overnight. And once it was discovered where shocks went, then it's too late to go back. So you can't. Now, if you're gonna start a new series on, start a 602 series, whether it be mods or late models or whatever, then that's where you start controlling it. You can't control it for the upper 604 crate late model divisions or anything like that. It's just, it can't be controlled.
Okay. So those are your thoughts on that?
That's my thoughts.
Okay, so my thoughts on it would be that, I was when I was first starting seeing the shocking prices of shocks that were getting into the $4,000 and $6,000 a car, I was really apprehensive and didn't necessarily love it. But what we've seen is a change in the industry is that at our premier level, of course, we've got the Lucas Oil late models and the World of Outlaws late models. While there are some super late model series in regions, those are diminishing by the day. And so what ends up happening is that our 604 crate late models end up being the premier division.
Correct.
With that being the case, and seeing the budgets that are going into that, then there is where we're going to push the envelope. With technology also comes support from that, and there's an entire ecosystem that is operating around racing, so the shock builders and all of that. So at the premier level, whether it's the CT525s or the 604 crate late models,
yeah,
I'm for it. However, on the other side of that, I think it would be in our best interest as an industry to designate a far more user-friendly option for we are going to need some new blood here at some point. Mm-hmm. We need new drivers, we need new cars, we need new teams. Right. So we've got to have an entry-level point for people that is more than just pulling stuff out of the junkyard.
So like I said, like a 602 late model series, they have a shock rule,
right,
of some sort.
That's
the place where you start that,
and that's where we've got this spec shock. So at that point, then you can reduce the number of variables that are going into a car. There's right. enough other things to worry about other than having a tiny little tune on a shock that could be the difference between first and last,
right?
Which can be, and
well,
so
no, it is a lot of times.
It is.
You take my son for instance. Hell, we've got 2 complete sets of Penske's. For this or for that.
Yeah.
That's no small investment.
No.
But
but
if you're average guy starting out racing, and you let's say you come for 4 cylinders, you're like, hey, I bought me a 2015 GRT and I want to go race. Mm-hmm. I can afford a 602 and some oil shocks.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect division for something like that. Mm-hmm. So I hope to see more of that coming up.
Yeah, and whether it's spec sealed shocks or something, so that we have an opportunity to tech it right at the track. Yeah. As I often say, if you don't tech it, it's not a rule. Right. And you've got to have something that's very techable, that isn't going to be cheated up. If you've got to go and cheat in a division like that, then you don't belong in that division.
Well, you're a sad son of a bitch anyway. Anyway.
I would agree. Dream Shop says, our B-Mod class has tight rules and run the HEI distributor with stock appearing cap. My thoughts were to go with a DUI 50,000 V-coil with a DUI 18-volt voltage booster. It is that or running an alternator?
I don't know. I don't want to throw off anybody's company at all. Not by any means, but take an HEI, put a freaking MSD coil in it, go race. Put an alternator on, and you're good.
So put an alternator.
HEIs are shit. They don't belong in race cars.
But
never have.
Rules, but if the rules
well, that's what I'm saying. If the rules dictate it, then save yourself some money. Get one that's locked out, or lock it out yourself, and you got a freaking DUI. Sorry.
Yeah. And we sell the lockout kits. There's I'm gratuitous as hell.
I've dynoed so much of that shit, it's ridiculous. And I mean, there's honestly no difference.
Good to know. Speaking of dyno, Paul says, what is the difference in horsepower from that 110, that Sunoco 110 to the E85 that you've seen?
Horsepower-wise, probably not a whole lot. I'm going to say like if we're talking peak numbers, probably peak horsepower, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 horsepower or something like that. But where you see the big difference is low-end torque. So low and mid-range torque is it's not even comparable. We're talking, God, probably 35 to 40 foot-pounds of torque.
Golly.
Down around between 110 and E85, maybe more. Down around, takeoff around, 2,500 to 4,500 RPM. I mean, it's night and day. There's no comparison.
Wow. And he mentions that he says, I think a 602 series up here with a spec shock would probably take off.
Oh, I
think that there's the spec shocks, the Bilstein program. Vicky
did that with Rush. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't know where that stands today. I mean, I know she was given more point money for people who ran, the Bilstein spec deal. But, I mean, ultimately, if you're still racing against unlimited shock rule, then the unlimited shocks are going to obviously win the most races.
Yeah. And Perfect Circle Motorsports mentions that Crate Racing USA 602 has a non-adjustable shock rule.
Yeah, see, that's great.
So, yeah, I mean, there's some good things. I mean, I know those exist out there, but just and
that's how it should be.
Making the caveats.
So that's what I'm saying is, like, that's where you start controlling stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm a proponent for people advancing. So if you want to go to a 604 car and buy the best of the best shocks, whether it's Penske's or Fox's or Integras, whatever, and start working with a shock guy, and then your plan is in 4 years to race super late models, then you've got something to build on.
Yeah.
So it makes sense at that point.
Well,
it doesn't make sense to me for a beginner class to have to go out and spend that kind of money.
No, I agree. And and if you can get to know some of those high end super late model teams, I think they sell a lot of times they'll sell their shit
they sell
too.
them all the time. Yeah.
And so there could be some opportunities to not have to put the brand new price tag, because the truth is they're all going to be built anyway.
Yeah.
Now, I learned something really good at Race Logic. I don't know if I've mentioned it to you because it was in the street stock class, but I actually asked the question. I said, what is the difference in these? Is there really a difference between a $1,000 shock and a $500 shock, or is it mostly name brand or what? And I got a great answer, and that is all about that the shims themselves, all those pieces in there, that they're held to different precision points. So if you want to, because what is it with the precision, the different parameters, the specs, right?
Yeah.
And that those tighter specs, that definitely having it dialed in, that right. You're going to pay more for that.
Yeah, I mean, but like you take, for instance, like
precision.
I said earlier that my son had 2 sets of shocks. Well, the second set of shocks was bought used. It's a used set of Penske's that we had refurbished, or he's having refurbished right now. So you've got like, I think you paid about half as much as what they were new,
right,
or less,
right.
So I mean, that's out there. I mean, that's not a problem, and so long as the shock's not bent, and I mean the body's not screwed up on it or something like that. I mean, these are things that will last you forever.
Yeah, until you bend them.
Until you bend them, or
yeah,
break them or whatever.
Dirt May says, put everybody on 94 and 95 across the board, will be affordable and good racing. Put the driver back in the car equation and make better racing. I think there's an opportunity for that again at the beginner classes.
Yeah, I remember those days back running those shocks years and years ago, and I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, like like the shittier handling car you've got, the better the driver becomes.
Oh, so. For sure. It's
within
like
reason.
cooking. I mean, you're going to at least start off like making macaroni and cheese that come out of the back of the box, but then at some point, heck, maybe you're making cheese or something. Like there's like different levels. Yeah.
That would just be weird to make cheese, but.
Well, it is. I mean, I watch YouTube videos, but
you gonna milk the cow too?
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, you can go all the way, right? No, I mean, but you could make gourmet. So all I'm saying is that you can start off with a beginner level and you could work into something. And Paul agrees. He says, I was thinking saying you get kids out of a 4-cylinder class and give them a shot of moving up.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
All right.
Which is what we like to see.
Yeah, we
need more of that. That's the future of the sport, is we got to get these kids number one, involved in it.
Yeah.
Number two, we got to get them to be able to progress up the food chain, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And, be the future race car drivers that we're all going to cheer for.
For sure. Let's see. Dirt May says, running a 604 on E100 Renegade, what plug and timing? Okay, I'm going to talk just about spark plugs for just a second, because I can't get NGKs, I can't get Autolites, so the only spark plugs I can get right now are AC Delcos. So those would be my choice of the day. The rest are unobtainium right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a decent plug. I mean, it'll run on pretty much anything. But I think it'd be similar to the E85 stuff that we're running, which would be like the AR94 Autolite, is what I prefer. Mm-hmm. And then, as far as timing goes, like right now on E85, depending on air-fuel ratio, we're running like some stupid air-fuel ratios, but we're like around 38 degrees.
Yeah, but you don't want to adjust that. You want to adjust that on a dyno. You don't want to try.
Don't just randomly go do that and go race. Ultimately, you need to be on an engine dyno or a chassis dyno, and just see where your peak is.
Otherwise, you could blow it up.
Generally on an ethanol fuel, because most of this stuff is so rich, you're going to be just fine around, like, I'm going to say 36 is safe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can run.
Because normally a 34 is your go-to.
Well, 34 on gas.
Okay.
Is your go-to. Now we've got some of that stuff up around 38 degrees too, but you're ultimately going to be better off. Let's be a little more conservative. Not blow our shit up, since you can't find 604s right now. Yeah. So, so I would get on a dyno if you can. Like I said, engine dyno or chassis dyno. Preferably a chassis dyno, because it's got your entire setup there. Mm-hmm. And then odds are you're going to end up between 36 and 38 degrees.
Good to know. VH says, 94 and 95, talking about the shocks, stops the slot car effect.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah, that's true, man.
And Paul says, and you could learn the cars too. Mm-hmm, so
absolutely.
that's really good.
Shit, back in the day when I raced, we were like running 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97 Monroes. Back when I started racing. So.
Wow. You're getting to be like an older and older man by the day.
Yeah, I'm old as fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'm treading water. And I will be for a long time. Don't even.
You're still 40-something, right?
I am. I am not.
That's budging. About to change.
No, it is not. It is not. I will always be 40-something. It might be 40-20 at some point. It's not going to be today, but...
So you're going to turn like 40-10 in February?
No, I am not. I'm 40-something in February. Don't even...
I thought it was 40. It's 40-10, right?
No, it's
not. Are we doing the surprise birthday party?
No, we are not. No, I don't have birthdays anymore. Like, done with birthdays. Right. Yeah, if you give up my age...
So I do the 12 days of Steve. You don't need to like the 4 days of cake?
Nope. Anything I want, I just buy for myself.
All right, there you go.
So, yeah, I don't need presents. I don't need more shit to store. I don't need, if I want it, I'll buy it. I don't need things. I will buy whatever things that I want.
Do you need more room in here so you can do more activities?
We just love that from Step Brothers. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to get another.
So, yeah, like Mike and Alex the other day, they got all the engines in a line, and it cleared this whole area in the shop for the shop kitty.
Oh.
So you do more activities.
We can do activities. Actually, we've been clearing up the warehouse.
So we got our shop cat now.
Yes. And Leo, right?
Leo the lion, yeah.
Leo has the prettiest eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you can even rub Leo's belly. You went from not even being able to hold Leo to now you can rub Leo's belly.
I can. Alex can. No one else can.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I did say you. I didn't say just anybody.
So he's like, when he came to the shop, he was like that big. Mm-hmm. And he came there on August 3rd because I got a picture of him when I first saw him. So then we decided to start feeding him. And he just stayed there. He's never left.
Yeah.
Just the dirtiest yellow... He's a yellow cat, but he like looks gray. Because he's like the dirtiest cat you'll ever see in your entire
Well,
life.
and the shop doors are open and everything, so it's not like he's locked in. He likes it in the shop. So Tom says he'll come back out for a party. And Tori says, Steve, we should. I told her about it, though, because I'll need her fancy party having supplies.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, we need to do like a 40-10 birthday party.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop.
I think we should.
Stop it.
I think it'd be hilarious.
Stop it.
Happy 40-10.
It is not even close. No, that's February sometime in the faraway future. Yes. VH says, hell, Steve, we raced on Gabriel Adjustable E in old days.
Yeah.
What is that?
God, Gabriel shocks.
Oh, wow. 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 How far back in the day was that?
That was a while ago.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And Paul's have it at East Bay. Have my birthday at East Bay. And Tom's birthday's in February, too. So, no, I don't have birthdays anymore. And I don't really want to... I have other parties, so... I got other things to do.
So how old are you going to say you are next year?
I'm not. I don't have birthdays anymore. I'm 40-something.
Are you going to say 40-10?
40-something.
Ish?
I can't believe you're giving up my age and it's not cool.
I'm not giving up your age.
Dude, you're giving up my age.
You said 40-20. I said 40-10.
No, I said someday. I said I'm going to be 40-something. I'm 40-something. Period.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Period.
I like your shirt. Where'd you get that?
Thank you. I got that in California.
There you go.
Yes. Nice, not really a segue there. But, changing the subject anyway. All right. Clayton says, Steve, what is the best 602 sealed crate fuel, VP or Sunoco?
VP.
Yeah.
If we're talking oxygenated, yeah, 100%. I mean, there's no comparison. VP versus anybody, there's no comparison. So.
And that's whether you're using the CHP or the X85, depending on whether you can.
Well, I mean, the legitimately like their E85 fuels. I mean, again, they're all pretty much the same because everybody's using top quality, ethanol. But when we're talking race gas, then yeah, there's no comparison to like CHP. If we're talking unoxygenated, then ultimately it's all pretty much the same. So wherever you can get it the cheapest.
Yeah. Now, speaking of parties, we do have parties coming up. So, December 17th, if you happen to be in the Rutherford County, North Carolina area, is that Friday is our Christmas party every year. Yeah, Crate Insider too. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Crate Insider, since I pay for the half of that too. So
right.
If you're in this,
it's the conglomerate.
It's the two us. It's like our friends that are local and our racing friends, and it's everybody who wants to come. And we've got Rock and Randall playing, and we'll have
live music,
keg, open bar. Like that's
it's usually cold as shit, so like dress warm.
Yeah, we're in a shop. Yeah, so this is not a formal attire event. This is
normally we got
sweatshirts and hoodies.
We got the dining room decked out, so everybody like go in there and like listen to live music and
play some left, right, center.
Yeah,
and some cornhole.
Yeah, play some left, right, center cornhole
and have our heaters going.
Yeah.
So that's so December 17th is that party, and then January 7th and 8th that's going to be a party too. And that is, of course, the Cars Racing Show in Hickory, North Carolina. And we will have a party that's that Friday night. I'm kind of prematurely promoting here. That's okay. I'll talk about my things then. So the Cars Racing Show, it's a trade show for racers, but you can also take the items home with you. So it's manufacturers, it's some retailers. So, Crate Insider will be there as a retailer. Other retailers include Four Boys. They're coming out from Eastern North Carolina. There's probably several more, and I'm not looking at a list right now, so I'm not very prepared. But a lot of great manufacturers, great support from Daytona One coming out of Florida. They're our presenting sponsor. And we also have ProFab and KRC and Jones and DRP. Schaefer's will be there. Renegade will be there. And speaking of shocks, we'll have Penske and Bilstein, or Bill Stein actually is, I think, how you're supposed to pronounce it. ML Performance will be coming up, so there's definitely some shock guys to talk about. Of course, Hendrens will be there talking to folks and answering questions. And probably slinging engines. I don't know if we'll be slinging engines or not, but all of that good stuff. So we're really looking forward to it. Buzzy Racing is coming up, and DRP. I think I might have mentioned them. But a lot of great folks gonna be there, and we're gonna have a couple of chassis manufacturers too. So we'll have Laser chassis there. We'll have Train chassis, XL Racing chassis. So a few of the late model chassis. Need some mod guys. I think we're talking to some modified chassis builders. So we'll see how that all comes out. But you can take a look at the full list over at carsracingshow.com. carsracingshow.com, and right now you can get free tickets. So to the Cars Racing Show. You can get free tickets to the Cars Racing Show if you register right now.
That'd be badass.
And so it's really gonna be great.
We had a damn good party there last year.
Yeah, we did. Fun. Yeah, we did. Yeah,
and that was during the whole total COVID lockdown bullshit deal.
Yeah, and we had one hell of a show. I mean, gosh, so many happy people. It was really great. Very successful show.
And nobody got COVID.
Again. Not even one.
Oh my God.
Not even one case. Not even one case. Now Clayton was asking. He says, what's that best fuel sealed crate? He says no oxygen, no oxygenated. These running IMCA fuel rules.
Okay, then I would run something on a 602. Then you need to be somewhere around 96 to 101 max octane rating.
There you go.
And honestly, at that point, I don't think it matters a whole lot.
Yeah.
Which which brand you choose.
Right.
Because honestly, all those are produced about the same.
Donnie's here. He says, I'm a firm believer in AFCO spec shocks for Fast Track. I've been on them for 3 years and have won 2 track championships and multiple features at Tyler County Speedway.
Yeah, I can't say anything bad about that because one of my customers used to win track championship at Bulls Gap back in the day when it was Fast Track on their spec shock. So,
AFCO did a great job of putting together a good spec shock package for that.
I mean, Ben.
Oh, Ben's brilliant. Ben Baker from AFCO. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's been on that.
And AFCO is going to be at the show too. There's another shop.
Now, what I can say is, like, ultimately, I think if you're racing multiple different tracks, I think it would be a disadvantage. One track, probably not so much. My customer raced one track, essentially, and it was not a disadvantage by any means. And like I said, he won track championships, won a ton of races.
Yeah.
So Tim Bird is what I'm talking
okay.
about.
Gotcha. Yeah, Cool. Love those guys. VHS, Steve, what do you run for fuel additive to keep E85 from separating? I run QMI.
E85 does not separate if mixed properly. And they got the proper blending agents in it. So E85 normally does not separate.
So maybe take a look at a different E85 if that's becoming an issue.
Yeah, if you got a separation issue, I've never run into a separation issue with it. And we've had drums sitting there for 6-8 months on pallets and never had a separation issue.
Good to know.
So, there's blending agents that have to be used correctly in the fuel to make that, not separate.
Now, do you use the Klotz, the Uplon, the top end loop with E85?
We don't on the E85. We do on the CHP and some of the drier oxygenated fuels, but we don't on the E85, no.
Oh, interesting. Yep. Does it not need that? Because that top end lubrication, do you not need that with the E85?
It's got plenty in the E85. The E85 is the ethanol itself is like, it's not. All right, so ethanol is
corn.
Methanol is wood.
Right.
Okay. So between the two, methanol, we would run our top end lube because it's like really dry. With ethanol, we do not. Ethanol is like inherently really sticky and gooey.
Oh, okay.
So the one thing you do need to be aware of when running ethanol is like, if you're going to sit for like 2 or 3 weeks, you need to like drain the carburetor out and like pump it full of gas, get everything lubricated, because if it dries out in the carburetor, you're pretty much fucked. It's it's gooey, gummed up, and everything else. But no, we don't run that in.
Now, is there any kind of harshness that goes with E85? We talk about
that would
methanol.
be it. E85's got a bad rap with people because, again, if you let it sit for 2 or 3 weeks and it dries out in your carburetor's fucked.
So does it like gel, kind of like diesel fuel does?
Not like that. I mean, it's
Like gooey,
it's a
sticky.
drying out thing.
Okay.
So in other words, if you got the bowls full, you run Friday night, car sits for 3 weeks, the bowls are dry because it evaporated out of the bowls, then everything in the bowls is gummed up and gooey.
Okay.
And that goes with the squirters, that goes with the accelerator pumps, I mean the whole 9 yards. Everything's just gooey as shit. So that's what you don't want to have happen.
Right. Now,
So if you know it's going to sit for that long, there's preventative maintenance. Mm-hmm. If you're racing week to week, no problem.
well, conversely, I mean, we talk about when you do run methanol that you even weekly would be putting gas in it just so that
methanol can be extremely harsh
because it's so harsh and it can tear up the hoses and the fittings and everything else.
Ethanol is not.
That's interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
It's got a bad rap because of people who, obviously, thanks to the internet, people get on there and bitch about their, ethanol fuel system that's fucked up because, I don't know, it sat for 3 weeks and everything dried out and everything gummed up and it won't run. So, I mean, ethanol's got a bad rap because of that.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, if you're racing weekly, it's not a problem.
Good to know. Timmy says, with all the attitude cars have these days, do you guys ever push the angled carb spacer, or do you stick to the flat 1 inch?
No, I stick to the flat 1 inch.
Well, we don't though. Flat 5/8.
Or 5/8. Yeah. Or a flat spacer.
Mm-hmm.
No.
We have the angled carb spacers because some people just want them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it. No, I mean, I stick with the flat one. That being said, the one person who actually puts the engine in the car the correct way is CVR. So, Chip Vineyard.
Yeah.
I'd look at angling your motor the correct way. So, rather than the angled carburetor spacer. The angled carburetor spacer is just a band-aid over a problem.
Gotcha. Bob says, so is there an adapter you should run on the 604 intake like you run on a 602, or do you bolt it straight on? Well, and I'm guessing because with this is my interpretation. So we've got a 602 spacer that has 2 rectangular holes that match up with the intake manifold on a 602 on the dual plane, whereas in a 604 we've got just an open intake manifold, and we're usually we're recommending 4-hole spacing.
Yeah, I mean there's no adapter required on a 604. I mean, I would run that 5/8 HVH spacer all day long. No adapter required.
Yeah. And it's just a suggestion, got to run good fuel lines, and of course we.
Well, I mean that's the main thing. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you don't want to run.
And good point. But
yeah.
Yeah, don't buy cheap frickin' AutoZone hose and call it your fuel line.
Yeah. Oh, and VH says I've been angling my motor for 10 years.
See, there you go.
Smart plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you were doing it. That was the first thing you saw in that CVR race car when we were at Race Logic last year. Is you had to go up to Chip and say, "You're the first guy that I've seen putting the engine in right."
Well, I mean, here's something that's funny. So, God, several years ago, like one of the last years I raced. So me and my brother were like, "Oh, hey, why don't we just angle the motor in the car?" So we redid the mid plate, redid the motor mounts, redid everything, and we angled the motor in the car like it should be. Mm-hmm. And that just so happened to be the year, it was season before I did Bloomquist's deal.
Was it before that or after?
It was just before that. So Bloomer shows up at the shop
in his seat.
On Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
No, it's not the seat. He shows up at the shop with his freaking motor angled, and we're like, "Oh my God, look at our car!" And he's like, "Oh wow, you guys are pretty smart." I'm like, "Well, fuck, you are too," So I mean, it was pretty hilarious. So, yeah. But then the next one that I saw, now this is by a production builder, not like a one-off guy. So right. Scott's not a production guy.
Right.
We're certainly not production guys. But the next one I saw, production-wise, was Chip's car. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what did I say at that damn Race Logic test last year? Yeah,
you're the first guy I've seen.
Only dude I see mounting his motor in the car the right way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we're giving up Chip's secrets on our show.
Well, I mean, hopefully I sell him a car. Honestly, he's got a badass car. Look, Henderson's
really
won, $20,000 and $10,000 and a bunch of shit this year.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to just add all that up and see what his winnings.
And we had Matt here on the show.
Yeah, we certainly have. Yeah. We got got lucky there and got Matt on the show. So that was a lot of fun.
Chip's a good guy. Knows how to build a race car. So
yeah, we like those. And I
think your tech support would be awesome there.
My tech support.
His tech support would be awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm very involved with his racers, with his customers, for sure. Do you have any other announcements or anything?
No. I mean, I just want to touch on the Rush thing again. I think it's freaking great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, I'm really happy that they've gone that way, and hopefully it'll be successful, which I'm pretty sure it will be.
Yeah. So. And don't be prematurely promoting here, but I'm just going to prep and say I will have a new product this week that literally every single racer needs to take a look at, and I'll announce it on Top 5 Tuesday.
Oh.
But
I can't prematurely.
Please don't prematurely promote, because I don't have a button you can click yet. So I gotta get that going.
It'll be kind of badass.
Yeah, it is. It's something that's been in the works for a while, and I'm very excited to I don't want to prematurely announce it. So definitely tune into Top 5 Tuesday, and then I'm probably going to be relentless about.
And this can be used on race cars, race car trailers, trucks, cars, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
right?
So cool. Yeah,
it's pretty badass.
So really excited about that. That's going to be my pre-announcement there. And I normally hate when people do that and like, just tell me already. But I really want to be able to.
Can I just say this?
No, you
just
cannot.
One little thing.
No.
All right, so if you live in California and your shit gets stolen all the time because it's California,
dude, come on, seriously.
This could be an advantage.
Yeah, it could be. So yeah. Alrighty, well with that, I think we'll wrap this show up, and I see Paul's going to be at Twin Peaks, so anybody, we're going to be there, or Steve will be there, especially on Friday.
God, are you coming down?
He must be coming down.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why he was asking about our Charlotte plans.
Yeah.
That would probably make the most sense on that, for sure.
Oh, that'd be hilarious if Paul comes down.
That'd be great.
Like, anytime you hang out with Paul.
Yes. He's hilarious.
Fucking Pennsyltucky Yankee.
Pennsyltucky Yankee.
Can drink more than any one person I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. So with that...
now, is he bringing the rest of the crowd or just him?
I don't know.
Come on, Paul. You gotta respond.
He says, yeah, we are, and we're just going to be here. So that means we. There's a we there.
So he's bringing the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Cool.
All right, any last thoughts?
Not really. I mean,
we're going to wrap this up, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. Definitely subscribe over on iTunes if you're listening to us on the podcast, and subscribe to our channel, our Crate Insider channel on YouTube, like our page on Facebook, and we will plan on being here. I'll be back on Tuesday with my new product announcement and some exciting things, and we'll be back next Sunday probably. We might have a conflict, but
it could be a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sketchy,
we'll see. We'll just watch out for that. But thanks for being here, and we'll see. Regardless.
1 second.
Oh God, you always do this. Yes.
We could do it Saturday.
Oh, like from the track or 20
like
weeks or
midday
something?
on Saturday or something.
It could possibly. Yeah. Anyway, just watch out for us
keep an eye out.
potentially.
It could be Saturday or Sunday.
Pop up with a show. We don't really know. We'll see what happens. And thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.